Okay, welcome to fractions day 3. We're going to dive into fractions a little bit deeper today. It still should not be too difficult. The goal is for you guys to understand everything we're doing and working through. If you remember from fractions day 1, we watched this video. I'm not going to play that video right now. If you want a refresher, please watch it on your own. It's a great thing to watch. I am, let me look. I am going to play this video today. This is all about equivalent fractions, and we're not quite there yet, but we are getting closer to that. And it's all about being able to see fractions with our eyeballs and being able to notice what they look like, which is why I'm going to play this one. Okay, so we'll play this one together, and then we'll dive back into our lesson. Ignore the ad.
When school is no place you have to be, why not go to school where remote learning can be as remote as...
Ready?
If there were 4 socks to wear, then we would say there'd be 2 in each pair. And one of the 2 pairs we can declare equals 2/4 of all the socks there. Drawing 1 into 4 of a line shows they can be described with an equal sign. An equal value is what they're worth, so we say 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4.
Equivalent fractions is the name for fractions whose values are the same.
Once upon a time, there were 9 canaries on telephone wires sitting down in threes. Each wire contained 1/3 of the bird, so 3 nines is equivalent to 1/3. Drawing 1/3 and 3 nines on a number line shows 1/3 equals 3 parts out of 9. Therefore, equivalent is the word that describes 3 nines and 1/3.
Equivalent fractions is the name for fractions whose values are the same.
If the numerator and denominator share a common factor, then you can divide the top and bottom by the same number. On top and under, and say with satisfaction we found an equivalent fraction. And you can multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. On top and under, which is really a fraction whose value equals 1. And through this action we find an equivalent fraction.
Equivalent fractions is the name for fractions whose values are the same.
The values are the same.
Equivalent fractions is the name for fractions whose values are the same.
The values are the same.
Okay, if you're like, what just happened, Miss Farmer? Why'd we watch that? I don't know what any of that meant. That's totally okay. That's totally okay. Because we're not exactly at equivalent fractions yet, but I want you guys to think those words and be like, what does that even mean? Just so you don't get it in your brain a little bit, because we're going to be getting there. So we're still on just like looking at fractions, coloring fractions, understanding what the numerator and the denominator are. The numerator, we should know, is the top number in a fraction, right? It's the top. It tells us how many parts are shaded or how many parts are eaten, whatever. The bottom number is the denominator, and it shows us how many total parts there are. Yes, Nevaeh?
Is it okay if I do my some of my spelling homework while you're talking?
I would prefer that you didn't, because I am teaching you a math lesson and you didn't get yesterday's lesson correct. So it would be better to listen to me and pay attention to what's going on.
Okay.
Would be my suggestion. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to ask you to unmute. My bad. Aja?
Can I do the math lesson while you're teaching?
Yeah, you can work on it as we're going through it, but if you have any questions, please make sure you're asking. And like, this lesson should be easy. So if you were understanding day 1 and day 2, you'll understand today and it won't be hard. But if you get to a part and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't understand, stop and ask. It's totally okay.
I'm gonna start working.
Now, it says color the fractions. If it says color 1/4, there are 4 pieces. How many of these am I going to color, guys?
4.
Just how many? I'm just coloring 1. Yep, Hector, you got this. I'm going to color 1. 1/4. There are 4 total parts. It's telling me to color 1. Make sense?
Yeah, my
about
brain
this
just
one?
went black right
It
there.
says color 3/4. How many am I going to color?
3.
3. 1.
And the
two.
first one, my brain just went blank.
Yep, and that's okay. And now I'm expecting your guys' coloring to be much, much better than this. Okay, much better. This is your lesson of the day. Please take your time. The next one is also color fractions. Same thing, guys. It says circle the correct fraction, which means I need to count the parts, the total parts, because that's my denominator. Total parts is my denominator. And then I have to count how many are shaded to circle the right fraction. Let's do this one together. How many total parts are there?
6.
6. There's 6 total parts. So what should my denominator say?
6 and
6.
1.
And how many are shaded?
1.
1. My answer is 1/6. There are 6 total parts. Okay. You're going to do that on the next page as well.
This one is correct because this one's 3. Go back to page 6.
Okay.
Over here there's only 3. On the top it says 2 and here it says 8.
That is about an equivalent fraction. So that one's a little tricky. But look at this. What if I did this? Now pretend I'm making perfect lines because you know I'm not. Ah, it wasn't supposed to be a line. It's okay. If I split this into 8s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're right. It still wouldn't be 3 8s. It would be how many 8s?
6.
It would be 6 8s. You're right. That one is incorrect. So how about you guys just write the actual fraction for me? Whether you make it 6 8s or you say it's 3/4, make sure you just write the right one and then circle it. Thanks for pointing that one out. Go ahead.
Okay.
On this one, you're going to divide the fraction and then color it. Guys, this is hard and important. If I have a fraction, the most important part is that they are what type of parts? Are they allowed to be just random sizes?
No.
They have to be what? What's that word that starts with an E?
Equivalent.
A little smaller than equivalent. Go ahead, Aja.
Equal.
They need to be equal parts. I can't say, oh, it's 1/3. Here, let me split this square into thirds. There we go. We got 3 parts. Are those 3 parts equal?
No.
No. If you guys were splitting a cookie with me and I got this part of the cookie and you each got that part of the cookie, you wouldn't be happy. Because I know if I got this part of the cookie, I would not be happy with whoever got this part of the cookie. I'd be very jealous, right? Don't take my cookie away. I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. So make sure you are splitting it equivalently. All right, this does not work. That is wrong. When I go up here to my 4ths, this is like a half circle. I can't just like go like this. Is this equivalent? No, these sizes are not the same. Not at all. If I was doing that one, this one is hard to do. I don't like the half circle thing, to be honest. I don't like it. If I was doing this, I'd probably have to start in the middle and make like pizza cuts. Make triangle pizza cuts to make it work. Now I know my drawing's not perfect, but would that be more equivalent than what I had originally? That would be closer. I'm not expecting your drawings to be perfect, guys. I understand we're all human. Please just do your best. Try to make it look equivalent, okay? If you give me something like this, that's clearly not equivalent. Something like when I had this split like that, that's clearly not equivalent. But if you do your best and it's a little off, that's okay.
Miss Farmer,
Yes, Simon.
I sent you mine.
Already? Well, I'm not
Mhm.
checking it yet. I'm still recording this lesson. You guys are crazy. Give me a minute. You're also going to divide and color these ones. Again, triangles are hard. They're like half circles. Just do your best with them, okay? Any questions on how to do this stuff?
Yeah, I have a question on that page. Why does one that says a whole? One whole.
Ooh. How does it matter how we divide the whole?
No.
No, because it's
Yeah.
just the whole thing, right? Like it's just the whole thing is colored.
Ah.
I could divide this. I could divide something is one whole. If I made this into halves, 2 parts, I would just have to color both parts and I would have one whole, right? If I made this into fourths, oops, again, bad drawing, my bad. I would just have to color all 4 parts to make one whole. I could make this into as many parts as I want. Granted, my drawings are terrible, but I would just need to make sure all of it is colored in order to be a whole. Does that make sense? If you ever get confused about something like that, look back to this graphic. If you have 12 twelfths, you have one whole. If you have 10 tenths, if you have the whole number on top as the same number as the bottom number, you have one whole. Okay? Makes a little bit of sense.
Yep.
Great. I'm going to stop the recording. I think this is going to be super duper easy for you guys and you're going to be like rocking it. If you do have any questions or you get confused in any part, just let me know. Okay?